Ida turns New York City into a front line of extreme weather supercharged by climate change. These are the kinds of scenes that scientists say the world will see more of because of human-caused climate change. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said she could not guarantee responders could rescue people that may be stuck in their cars if it starts floating away like a boat on a river. 8 people have already died in New York and New Jersey, which are both under a state of emergency. It is such a large area across the Northeast, and it only happened within a span of a few hours. That's nothing that we have seen, especially in this region of the country. Like with several weather events over the summer across the Northern Hemisphere, Ida has smashed records in some areas by a huge margin. Wednesday was the rainiest day on record for Newark, New Jersey, which saw 8.41 inches of rain recorded. That's nearly 25% above the previous record, set in 1977. In New York City, more rain fell in a single hour than at any point in the city's weather records, which go back to the 1800s. New York's Central Park recorded 7.13 inches of rain, nearly doubling the previous record set in 1927 for the same date. The National Weather Service New York reported. New York City's flash flood emergency status is the first issued in its history. What's the role of climate change? A recent UN climate report said that the frequency and intensity of heavy precipitation events have increased since the 1950s over most land area. Across continental U.S., specifically, the heaviest downpours have been observed to be increasing in all regions, with the Northeast showing the largest increase, according to the U.S. National Climate Assessment. Warmer air can contain more water vapor than cooler air. Global analyses show that the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere has in fact increased over both land and oceans, the report says. In terms of hurricanes, climate change is making them more dangerous. They are producing more rainfall, moving slower once they make landfall, and generating larger storm surges along the coast. Hurricane Ida was a prime example of those changes, and scientists say storms like this will become more common as the planet warms. Scientists are now able to analyze exactly how much of a role climate change is likely to have played in a particular weather event. It's too early to make such an estimate for Ida, but trends in hurricanes of this force suggest a link. Specifically, from event attribution, we do note that when hurricanes occur, the rainfall associated with them is more intense because of human-induced climate change, and Ida will not be an exception. This is important as it means the cyclones hang around for longer and thus can also cause more damage. What can we do? Climatologist Kim Cobb, director of the Global Change Program at the Georgia Institute of Technology, warned that New York, like many cities, was clearly not prepared to deal with climate-related and weather disasters such as Storm Ida. On an individual level, the U.S. government advises people to find safe shelter immediately in the event of a flood, and to refrain from walking, swimming, or driving through flood waters. Authorities in the Northeast are urging people to stay off the streets. That would require deep cuts to greenhouse gas emissions and for the world to wean off unabated fossil fuels. Reaching net zero by 2050 could contain average global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, which scientists say would stave off some of the more catastrophic climate change impacts than the world is currently experiencing. Warming is already at around 1.2 degrees Celsius.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.